Good morning students, welcome in online classes. Yesterday we have discussed about that the consequences of the First World War. Under this headings we have discussed that what was the constitutional changes of the Act, Indian Act of 1858, and how the Queen Victoria changes the other constitutional other reforms. Then after, what was the relation towards the Indian princes and the British. These all things are discussed yesterday. After that, end of Peshwa and Mughal Empire after the revolt of 1857. This is also complete study. And what was the promise given by Queen Victoria with the common Indian peoples? These all the points are given study. Today our topic is changes in army organization. What was the changes in the army organization? If you see that so many changes started by the British. First of all, Britishers established a Royal Indian Army. In this Royal Indian Army, the merging of armies of the companies and the crown under a commander-in-chief. Now, a new army was set up in India. This is known as the Royal Indian Army. In this army, the armies of the companies and the crown do the work under a commander-in-chief. And number of soldiers also rearrange between यूरोपियन एंड द इंडियंस. जैसे कि दिखा है, बंगाल में एक यूरोपीय के साथ दो भारतीय, बॉम्बे में दो यूरोपियों के साथ 5 सोल्जर्स इंडियंस रखे जाएंगे और मद्रास में सेम एज इट इज. एंड देन आफ्टर द इंडियन सोल्जर्स वर टू बी एक्सक्लूडेड from the artillery and arsenals. Supply of newspaper and magazines to the armies were stopped. पहले जो कि सप्लाई ऑफ न्यूज़पेपर और मैगजीन्स सभी भारतीय सिपाहियों को भी मिलता था, लेकिन अब पूरी तरह से इसको स्टॉप कर दिया गया, रोक दिया गया. अब कोई भी सप्लाई न्यूज़पेपर की और मैगजीन्स की नहीं होगी आर्मीज को. इट इज़ ऑल्सो अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट चेंजेस. नेक्स्ट आफ्टर अ डिस्टिंक्शन वॉज मेड बिटवीन द मार्शल एंड नॉन मार्शल रेसेस. Next, the sepoy belonging to different castes and creeds were mixed up in the same regiments so that a sense of unity in them may not develop. मीन्स इसके पीछे एक बहुत बड़ी चाल थी अंग्रेजों की कि कई सारे भारतीयों को अलग अलग जाति, अलग अलग धर्म, अलग अलग मजहब के मानने वाले लोगों को एक साथ मिक्सअप कर दिया ताकि उनके बीच में यूनिटी डेवलप ना हो सके और आगे कोई फ्यूचर में रिवोल्ट ना हो सके. द न्यू आर्मी लेफ्ट आउट द ब्राह्मण्स एंड राजपूत ऑफ अवध एंड ब्रॉट इन सिख फ्रॉम पंजाब, गुरखास फ्रॉम नेपाल and Pathans from frontier. So this type of army organization done by the British government. All key position in the army were reserved for the British. जो important post थे, important decision थे, वो सब कुछ decision या position reserved था ब्रिटिश सैनिकों के लिए. and only they were to be stand at strategic places. और जहाँ कहीं भी strategy बनाना था, कोई बड़ा डिसीजन लेना था, वहाँ पर ब्रिटिश आर्मी हुआ करती थी. इंडियंस इन द आर्मी वर नॉट टू बी अपॉइंटेड एट रैंक हायर देन दैट ऑफ ए सूबेदार. द इंडियन सोल्जर्स not getting the higher rank, all the higher rank reserved for the Britishers. Only the Indian soldier appointed as a subedar, and finally they retire from their post as a subedar. No chance of promotion in the Indian army. Means we can say that the Indian army had been mainly responsible for the crisis of the revolt of 1857. So after the revolt, it was truly reorganized and built up on the policy of division and counterprise. We can say that the strength of the European troops in India was increased from 45,000 to 65,000, and the number of Indian troops was reduced from 2,38,000 to 14 lakhs. 14,000, not 14 lakh. All big troops and artillery departments were reserved for the Europeans. Discrimination on the basis of the caste, region, and religion was practiced in the recruitment to the army. Newspaper, journals, and nationalist publications were banned from reaching the Indian army to keep them separated from the rest of the population. So these all are the changes, especially in the army organization done by the Queen Victoria after the revolt of 1857 through the Government of India Act 1858. Now, introduction of budget system. The first time after the revolt of 1857 in 1860 AD onwards, the budget system introduced in India for the first time. Introduction of budget system, it is also very important point. After the revolt of 1857, in 1860 AD onwards, the budget system firstly introduced in India. In order to organize the financial administration, sources of income were distributed between the central and the provincial government. So, the introduction of budget system is also consequences of the revolt of 1857. It is also a keywords. After that, policy of divide and rule. This is very important. After 1858, the British continued their policy of divide and rule by giving special protections and concessions to the princely state, encouraging hatred and ill feeling among the Hindus and the Muslims, so that the people of India could never challenge the British authority. So this is the policy of divide and rule. Soon after the war in 1857, government turned against the Muslims. After the revolt of 1857, the government wanted to use the policy of divide and rule between the Hindu and Muslims. So after the revolt, the British government started the division between Hindu and Muslim and turned against the Muslim, discrimination against them in service. When later on the Hindus national grew, they become friendly towards with the Muslim. They encouraged the formation of the Muslim League in 1906 and introduced a separate electorate for the Muslim in 1909. So dear student, we can say that इस रिवोल्ट के बाद जो एक नई चीज़ देखी गई वो थी हिंदू और मुसलमानों के बीच में डिवाइड करने की पॉलिसी. इसको हम बोलते हैं डिवाइड एंड रूल. फर्स्ट वॉर ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंस के बाद जो अंग्रेज़ों का झुकाव था वो हिंदुओं की तरफ था, हिंदुओं को प्रोटेक्ट करने लगे. लेकिन जैसे ही हिंदुओं ने अपने डिमांड्स को स्टार्ट करना शुरू किया, वैसे ही ये सारे के सारे मुसलमानों की तरफ आ गए और मुसलमानों को अलग तरह से एक अलग पॉलिटिकल पावर देने के लिए काम करना शुरू कर दिया. ओके, सो इन दिस वीडियो वी हैव डिस्कस अबाउट दैट पॉइंट नंबर 7. दिस इज द लास्ट पॉइंट. नंबर 8, increased economic exploitation of India. After the revolt of 1857, India was exploited by one trading company before the revolt of 1857, known as the East India Company. Now, after the war of 1857, India came to be exploited by the British nations as a whole in several ways, as given hereunder. First, the high salary of the Secretary of the State for India and other members of the Indian Council in England were paid from the Indian exchequer. The numbers of civil and military army officials from the number of civil and army officers from the European community increased manifold, which caused more burden on the Indian exchequer. My dear students, after the revolt of 1857, no doubt, the revolt of 1857 ended an era and showed the seeds of a new era. Means sow a seeds of a new era. The era of territorial expansion gave place to the era of economic exploitation. India became a typical colony of the British by exporting raw materials and importing British goods. Peasants, ruler, artisan, etc. were empowered under the British rule. So in this lecture, in this video, this is the important points like that the economic exploitation of India after the revolt of 1857. Now, rise of nationalism in India. This is very important points. The point number 11. The first war of independence of 1857 became a symbol of challenge to the British and proved to be a great incentive to the continuation under further rise in the spirit of the nationalism in India. So we can say after the revolt of 1857, the nationalism started in India. Thank you. My dear students, I hope that you all are able to understand each and every time. So please, all of you, one time again revise all the consequences. We also provide to you notes. You can, if you want to see, if you want to learn and revise, then you can also revise from your notes. In the notes, those we have provided through the PDF. So please one time again see that what was the important result of the revolt of 1857. Thank you.